All right, what is going on, guys? I hope you are well wherever you are, whatever the damn time. Welcome back to another YouTube video, and it's going to be a pretty quick one from me today. It's just going to be an off-season update. I'm just going to sort out my pre-workout meal because today I have an upper body session in my kind of new program, but I thought I'd go over how things have been going for me over the past few weeks in my off-season. The past couple of weeks, I gave you a video on, what was the last video? The last video was about mistakes people make throughout their contest prep. And then before that, I think it was a full day of eating, which actually done pretty well, to be honest. And that'll probably be the next video that I film. But update, where we been at, what's been going on. So in terms of my day today, I've recently had a stomach bug, so I had to take an extra rest day from the gym, had some GI issues. That also resulted in me dropping a kilo. So I was sitting around 108.5 on average, and that was after I'd made an increase to my food. But since the stomach bug, without going into too much detail, body weight dropped a kilo. It happens. Food content, because obviously when your body weight goes up a little bit in the off season, or when your body weight moves up, you're not just composed of muscle and fat, right? So when you see those changes in body weight, it's also a reflection of water, it's a reflection of food content in your stomach, all of that stuff, right? So down to 107.3 as of this morning, but I did make an increase in food. I will put my macros on the screen as to what I'm eating at the minute. In terms of the actual foods that I'm eating, obviously to get a little bit more of a specific idea, just all you have to do is basically look back at my last full day of eating, and that's basically the diet that I'm on. The only adjustments that I mentioned to you that I'd made was before, in terms of actual food groups, was reducing how much bacon I was eating. I was eating, regardless of whether or not it's full bacon or medallions. I was only eating medallions, but I think just basically removing those processed meats from my diet, because I don't think they're great for your gut and your bowel health. So just the removal of those, introducing Greek yogurt and turkey steaks in place of that, and keeping in my eggs, obviously. Aside from that, the only other thing that I really want to change to my nutrition, which I'll be doing in my next food shop. I got the good old ground rice, this meal. Okay, the only thing that I'll be changing, I think I'll actually do it for the next food shop, is buying my chicken from somewhere else, buying either from a butcher, because there's a really, really good one with very high quality meat, very close to me as well. A butcher, or going to M&S and actually buying my chicken from there, because I do think that the quality of this supermarket chicken, it's interesting. When I went to that butcher's to buy the beef for the beef Wellington that I cooked, the chicken and the quality of the meat and just how it looked in there, it just looked so much better. And I don't know about you, but I really care about the food that I put in my body. I want the quality to be decent. I don't really buy much else. I don't splurge on myself. I don't buy jewelry. I don't want flashy things. The thing that I really invest in the most is the food that I put in my body. And I think the meat that we're getting in supermarkets is a little bit questionable. I would also like to support a butcher's. Aside from that, it's the standard, right? We've got my ground rice here that I'm just about to make for this next meal. Ground rice is still in play, obviously. I've got my chicken, my rice, my salmon, loads of different vegetables. My chia seeds are in there still. They're going to be in this meal. Dark chocolate, blueberries. It's going to be pretty loud in here, isn't it? Let's take you into here, and I'll sit down. With regard to my training, so if you've been watching a while, you'll know that I recently, at the start of this year, I had switched to doing leg training 3 times across the week. So increased frequency in terms of what I was doing. It's basically three leg sessions across 7 days, as opposed to 3 leg sessions across 9 days. And definitely found that useful. And again, shout out to Ali Fraser, who helped set me up with that programming and give me some tips. I definitely found value in the reduction in volume and realizing that the level of volume that I'm doing, what I think was just not allowing me to progress the way that I wanted to. And that's something that I'll carry forward with me in this new program. But I do think that the frequency of that training for me just ran into too many issues, particularly with my knees. The level of like poundage that my knees were taking, and it didn't really feel like they were getting a break. It's not like the volume was super high either. We're talking 4 sets of quads on one of the sessions. One of the sessions only had 2 sets of quads and it was through a leg extension. Yeah, I think there was only 8 sets of quads throughout the entirety of the week, but it was still just destroying my knees. And I feel like it's just, there's a bit of a line with frequency. I know how we harp on sometimes about how frequency is king with weak body parts and whatnot, but I do think there's a line. I also think it depends on what the body part is. So maybe that would work really well with your arms, or maybe it would work really well with something like your calves. But when you're doing a lot of work through your knee joint and your legs in total, your legs carry you all day. And I think there needs to be a little bit of give. And I think the perfect spot for me, honestly, was that lower upper rest, lower upper rest, lower upper rest. Like that split just worked really well for me. I think the issue previously was just, I was just doing too much volume in my lower body sessions. And I think that's when I was running into issues. Whereas now if I take the lower volume approach I have been doing in this training, but just apply it to my old training split, I think that'll work wonders for me. So that's the adjustment that I am going to make and has been made to my training, which I'm really excited about, to be honest with you. I think it's going to go pretty well. Upper body sessions have been going really well. Despite the lower body problems and the knee issues that I've been having, upper body training has been going exceptionally well. I'm feeling really strong, injury-free through the upper body. So I really can't complain about upper body training. And I do really enjoy upper. I do really enjoy it, and I think the frequency kind of makes sense. For me now as well, I think my posterior has actually caught up really quickly with my anterior. So my chest and shoulders used to be very dominant versus my back. I still need a little bit more lat, I think, especially in those front shots. But when I turn around, I don't have a weak back. I think my back lines up pretty well with my front. I think priority really for me is quad sweep. But I actually think that will come from less frequency now, because I know how to do quality work and making sure that my knees can actually stay healthy. So yeah, and I also think I'm at a point with my training now. I've been doing this quite a while and I'm still able to see development with my physique. You just got to let time do its thing sometimes. Like I know how to train really well. The magic is in just allowing time to do its thing whilst also doing the work. So yeah, had a leg session yesterday and I liked the flow of the session. It was just a little bit frustrating because I'd basically just come back from the stomach bug. I didn't feel as strong. I really did notice the drop in body weight. I felt a little bit more empty. So my RDLs didn't really go particularly well. And my knees felt okay during the session, but RDLs didn't go well. And my groin was hurting a little bit as well on split squats. But it happens. I think it was just that kind of initial return to the gym. But that's the training side of things. So there's a little update there. And this phase for me will last probably until about the summertime of this year. So I'll aim to get to peak off-season body weight and composition by about June, and I'll be probably around 110 kilos. I won't really get any heavier than that. I think I've maybe said previously on videos before, I'm going to be 30 this year, and I care more about there's that feeling of mortality. There's that feeling of You're not going to be young forever. You have to really look after yourself. I don't need to go through these huge bulking cycles and get super fat. I don't need tons more tissue. I'm not in the early stages of my lifting career, so I just don't need to get to that level. I've been 119 kilos, I've been 118 kilos, I've walked around at those body weights, and I just don't see what that's going to give me now. I know I can reach that level of strength, if not more, at a lighter body weight, at a healthier body weight, whilst having consideration for my CV health, whilst having consideration for my inflammation, systemic inflammation, blood glucose control, all of those things, right? Sleep. So, but happy with body composition. Still a great amount of detail, or I'm not going to say great, that's stupid. A good amount of detail around glutes, hamstrings, which typically would obviously get a lot softer for me, particularly, but they're still holding pretty strong at this body weight, which is good. And it's just about now being patient with the scale and just letting the food do its thing. So cheers, see if you got enough. Just slightly short. So that's where we're at with the training, my physique. In terms of general life, tonight I'm seeing Danny Brown, one of my favorite rappers, which should be good indeed. And I'm been watching, I think I'm on the last episode of season 4 now of Invincible. Season 4 came out like a few days ago of Invincible, and I'm almost done with the 3rd episode of season 4. I think they're going to bring out probably another 3, maybe next week, or I'm not too sure, but very, very good. Oh. Anyway, we're almost done with this meal. I can't think of anything else to update you with. I've got clients that are currently in prep, which is going well. It's going to be a really good year, an exciting year for competitive clients this year. So they're all doing well. And the first show of the contest season I'm going to go to will be the PCA Naturals, which will be on the 18th of April for my client Kieran. All right, guys, I'm going to show you this meal, and then I'm going to head back to the desk and do a little bit of steps as well. And then I also need to finish editing a video for Full Ball Sports, my athlete update for them. Right, here we go. Here's the meal. There it is in all its glory. So that is 125 grams of ground rice. We've got 45 grams of whey, 10 grams of chia seeds, 20 grams of dark chocolate, 90%, 100 grams of frozen blueberries. That is the meal right there. That's the pre-workout meal. Eat this, wait about 45 minutes, drive to the gym, takes about 20 minutes, train upper, get a nice pump, enjoy the sun. Can you really beat an upper body day in the sun? It's just hip hop, sun, gym, perfect. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was a quick one, but I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you for the next one.